beautiful people. It's Dr. V again with the Burnout Show, and I have another awesome guest for you today, Heather Prince. And I'll let you introduce yourself because you do so many things. So just go ahead and start yourself off.
Thank you, Veri. It's such a pleasure to be here. My name, as Veri has said, is Heather Prince, but on social media, you might find me as the Root Master because I get to the core root of the issue. So I'm not the kind of person that comes along and puts a plaster on it or tells you to take a paracetamol for your headache. I want to know what is the root cause, which could be from the current life, it could be from past lives, it could even be unknowingly from your ancestors. So thank you, Veri, for having me.
Oh, this is so wonderful because that's exactly what I do when I do journey processes with people. Often we find previous lives that are causing problems in this life. Or my client this week, she had all kinds of issues that were from her mother. And so it stemmed from her birth process. So we had to like heal all of that and disconnect her from suffering, really, the emotions of her mother. So yeah, it is such deep and liberating work. I love helping people like that also. And I'm so glad that you also go deep like that, because when I initially started life coaching, I thought it was very, very superficial. It was all about think differently, think differently. But that is very superficial. The mind is just here, but all of the other cells, our DNA, our energy, and all of that doesn't really get dealt with if you do like the basic life coaching, I feel. So I was very happy to learn things like Reiki and healing, and then the journey process. So yeah, I also love doing the deep work.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's very satisfying.
I work with a methodology called spiritual response therapy, and that therapy was started by Robert Detzler, and I was very blessed when he came over to England. I actually met him because he was a huge catalyst in my life to really get to the root of what's going on. And as you've said, Veri, I've worked with people that when they were in the womb could hear mum and dad saying, oh, I hope it's a boy. Yeah. And then they were born and they were a girl. And all their life, they felt like they weren't wanted, that they weren't loved, and they had no idea why, because they'd heard it in the womb. And once we'd cleared all that negative energy that they'd had from that point within the womb before they were even born, everything changed. It is incredible.
It's so powerful. I know. I went through it myself because they told my mother she should abort me for health reasons. So I went through that also, experiencing that doubt and like, oh, they're going to kill me. Is my mother going to kill me? Kind of fear. It's installed in you at a very early stage, and it stays with you. And I also dealt with it, like when I discovered the journey, like for 40 years, that fear was in there somewhere. So yeah, it is, it's amazing that we can do these things. I'm so grateful you brought that up, but that's not really the topic why we're here. Because first of all, this is the Burnout Show. And I asked you to talk about how mainly women, is it, or people can overcome relationship breakup. And why this is important for my burnout crowd is I want the people to, well, this is from my viewpoint, ideally, you should treat your burnout before you break up your relationship. Because unfortunately, I have dealt with a lot of clients who come to me after their divorce. And then I feel sorry for them, because I thought, like, if you would only have come a year earlier, I could probably have helped you overcome your burnout, and then you wouldn't have to destroy your relationship and get a divorce, because that is interlinked. So that's why this subject is relevant for my show. But you are the specialist in the overcoming relationship, well, actually heartbreak, isn't it? So go ahead and give everybody your 3 golden nuggets on how to overcome a relationship breakup, please.
First of all, after a relationship is over, or you feel that it's over, you've either separated or you've actually started divorce proceedings, it's really important not to follow the myths that are out there. You know, there's a myth of just going to see a counsellor and everything would be all right. Or there's a myth that, oh, well, I'll just take some sleeping pills or antidepressants and I'll just get over it. Or there's a myth of, let's get back out there on that dating app and let's just have a couple of one night stands and I'll feel a lot better. It doesn't work like that. It's really important to take the time. And I'm speaking from experience because 10 years ago, my 34-year-old marriage ended and I'd met him before my 16th birthday. He was my whole world. I'd never dated as an adult. I didn't understand the game. Dating is a game. There's loads of dating coaches out there, which is great. But if any of you watch Celebrity Dating or any of those shows that are on the television, they haven't dealt with their stuff first. So my first golden nugget is you have to deal with past energy. There might be patterns. This week, I've worked with a lady whose first husband betrayed her. She then went with a second relationship for 17 years. They never married, but he betrayed her. She then had a light bulb moment working with me and said, Dad betrayed Mum. And we looked back at her ancestors. There was a pattern running in her subconscious, in the DNA that had been ignited, of betrayal. That has now been removed, not just for her, but for future generations. So her children won't be affected by it either. Mm-hmm. And working on the second nugget, which I call the self, is if you don't look in the mirror and truly love yourself, how can you even think that you're going to go out there and someone else is going to see you as that loving, beautiful energy that you were born to be? So the second golden nugget is you need to love yourself. And that takes a bit of work. I've run residential workshops where we've had people doing mirror work in tears because there's some block there that needs to be removed and released so that you can fully blossom as the beautiful flower that you truly are. Mm-hmm. Third golden nugget is that once you remove any desperateness, any loneliness, any neediness, any I want to be looked after energy, you are going to raise your vibration. When you raise your vibration, like attracts like, and therefore you will be whole. The person you will attract in, magnetize in, will be whole, and the two of you will be whole together. People have got a myth that they're a half and there's another half. No, you need to be a whole so that you're not codependent on each other, but you enhance each other. And they're my three nuggets, Veri.
This is awesome. I totally agree with all of your three steps. So we already discussed the first one a little bit because that is that healing process where both of us can help people undo these unconscious repeating struggles actually that keep on coming back in people's life. And I'm glad you brought up that we kind of heal our ancestry, like our ancestors as well as our children in going forward to the future, just through dealing with this one client. It goes in both areas of the timeline.
It's amazing how all the energy is not linear. It's different, and therefore it heals because you're bringing it into the present, you're dealing with it, and it's being removed. It's a very powerful process.
Yeah. And your second golden nugget about loving yourself. Now, I think that can be very, very tough for a lot of people. So you mentioned mirror work, but can you give a little bit some other tips on how people who they probably feel very low self-esteem once they've been betrayed or their partner left them or they've been abused, so they're very very low. There's a very low level of self-love.
I can certainly relate to verbal abuse that I didn't even realize was verbal abuse until I stepped out and did my process of healing, which I've now put together into a method that I call Fearlessly Moving Forwards. And I take my clients through the process that I personally went through myself. And you don't love yourself when somebody abandons you or betrays you or has verbally abused you or the whole caboodle. You think, oh, what has that new woman got that I haven't got? Maybe she's younger, maybe she's slimmer, maybe she's got bigger boobs, maybe she's got thicker hair. It can be anything. And we start to put ourselves down, and we're running the belief of I am not enough. Now, that's the core root of self-worth. So we need to work on all of that stuff, and it's not an overnight job. And there's been a scientific research done that it takes a minimum of 90 days, which is why my course is 90 days. And you've got access to it for forever if you want it. And you can go over it, because, you know, if you've been with someone like me for 34 years, it's going to take time. I'm real. My core value is honesty. I'm very upfront and honest with who I work with. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. But if you've been with somebody for 5 years, of course it's going to heal that bit quicker, depending on what you're dealing with within yourself. Beliefs, negative programming that's running. You could be running self-sabotage and everything's going right, and all of a sudden you're going to push the self-sabotage button. Why? Let's find out. And that's how it can take you forward. This is all about personal development, and somebody's got to be ready to take that action, because I wish I had some magic dust that I could throw at you, but it does take self-work.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. It takes some time to undo these habits that you have had for most of your life. So something came to me, because I did once get some sprinkle of magic from a reverend when I was very ill. And I think I was like punishing myself internally for a failure, but it was actually when I was in deep burnout and my body had left me down, and I was beating myself up. Why couldn't I be Superwoman any longer? So there was a lot of self-hate at that stage. So which was making me even more ill, and like, you know, could have led to suicide. So it was really serious. And my best friend took me to a reverend, a religious person. And the one thing that really triggered me, he listened to my story and he said to me, you're a child of God and you deserve to live, kind of thing. And it just, for me, it was like, when I heard that, like, I deserve to live, I deserve to be here. It just opened me up to a new possibility. Like, I don't have to die, even though I'm not perfect and I went through some failure and my body let me down. I still deserve to live. This is like really, really the dark side of breakups. And the third point that you mentioned, oh yes, remove the neediness. I actually recently did a summit where, and I will share the link to the video, it's also my YouTube channel, where I did a session on how to attract your soulmate, kind of thing. And I mentioned exactly the same thing about don't come from a place of need, come from a place of love. Just fill yourself up with love and exude it, and you will attract the right person, because you will be vibrating at a high vibration, and you want to attract somebody else which has a high vibration. Not somebody else who is needy either, you know, because that also happens a lot. Even when women are in a good place, they might also attract other people who need fixing. And then that's a pattern, right? That you see, I need to fix everybody.
It's a program that many women run, that they want to rescue someone. It's the savior complex. And it's quite common. But the truth is, the only person that can save is self. And the only control that we have in life is over self. So yes, Veri, you are worth it. And we are all part of a source. Forget religion. I'm not getting into religion here. If you just think that there is an energy, a source, you think of it like a beach. And that beach is made up of little specks of sand. Each one of us souls is a speck of sand. Therefore, what we think and what we say every day, we co-create our reality. What we focus on comes into our reality. There is a law of attraction that what we think and what we say, we boomerang that out. The law of attraction doesn't know if it's true or not.
Yeah.
And it will bring more of what we're saying and thinking into our life. So I had a lady who kept repeating on a soul conscious level of I am, because that really exists. I am. And she would follow it with the word angry. And guess what? The universe kept bringing in circumstances and the stuff where she could keep reiterating, I am, followed by that word.
Yeah.
But when you change it to I am peaceful, I am love, I am in harmony with everything and everyone, then tell me after a week what happens.
Absolutely.
Because it's how powerful we are. We think that there's something bigger, higher, stronger that's controlling us. We're not puppets. There's no strings. We are in control, and being empowered can feel quite scary for a lot of people. And failing is great, because innovation is all about failing. And whether you're a person or a business, if you fail 40% of the time, good, because every time you fail, you pick yourself up again, try something else. Do you think Mr. Dyson discovered his Dyson cleaner the first time? No, he failed 40% of the time. It's part of life. And if we grow up in a culture understanding that, if we can teach our children that, every time they fall down, get up, dust yourself down, carry on. And that's the same in life.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you have any, because I would like to give the listeners like a quick tip, something they can implement immediately in their life to raise their vibration.
Okay, I've been a meditation teacher now for 25 years. So let's just do a nice deep breath in. Take that breath all the way down to your belly, and then breathe out as if you're blowing out the candles on your birthday cake. And we'll do that again. Breathing in and breathing out. Drop your shoulders and just become present. And we'll do that again. Deep breath in and breathing out. Make sure you've dropped your shoulders and you're being present in your body. You can close your eyes if you wish, and just imagine that you're a beautiful fountain. Whatever comes in your mind, the beautiful fountains in Italy or anywhere in the world that comes to mind, you know, in Las Vegas, they've got the most magnificent fountains. Just imagine that you are a fountain of love. And there is beautiful, beautiful sprays of water just overflowing with love. Everything that you are seeking is already within you. You don't have to go to another person to get that love. They will purely enhance what is already there. And just take that image for a moment to enjoy the beauty of your fountain, and just be an observer of how that water is moving and overflowing. And it's always been there and will always be there for you to understand that you are born with love. And when you be love, you would do loving things, and you will have even more love. And anytime you feel that you need to connect to love, you can just take those 3 deep breaths, close your eyes if you wish, and just imagine, use that superpower of your imagination to sense, feel, or see your fountain of love that's deep within you. And now take a deep breath in and breathe out. And when you're ready, open your eyes. And there's a very simple thing you can do in 5 minutes, even if you just nip to the loo to do it.
That was really beautiful. I hope everybody else enjoyed it as much as I did. I mean, it's
Good.
so powerful. The deep belly breathing brings you in parasympathetic straight away, so you feel relaxed. It's the fastest way to relax when you're tense.
Yeah, it just brings you present so that we're not in our thoughts of yesterday or tomorrow. It brings us into the moment.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This is what you've done to me.
That's good. You're relaxed. You're relaxed. That's wonderful.
Thank you so much for that. This was really powerful. And now we're just going to tell everybody how they can reach you. I'm going to spell it out underneath the video also. So www.therootmaster.com is your website. You also have a Facebook group, Moving Forward Fearlessly. Love that title. And then Heather Prince is also on Clubhouse. So there's 3 ways.
Yeah, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook. But if you'd like to send me a private email, you can just click on my website and contact me, and I will get back to you as soon as possible.
Excellent. Well, I'm going to go and enjoy some sunshine now.
Me too.
So thank you for your time here and for sharing your knowledge. And bye-bye. Stay in touch and
bye-bye.
See each other again. Bye.
I do hope so. Bye-bye.